Hello all, welcome to my channel Hella Research Life, where we bring videos on career guidance and lifestyle every week. And today in our channel, we have Ramya Sri, who is doing her fifth year PhD in biological sciences in BITS Hyderabad. And apparently, Ramya is also my junior back in Tirupati. So, audience, please welcome our guest Ramya, and she is with us. Ramya, thank you. Please take the show.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And that's really nice introduction. And yeah, I'm excited about today and it's good to see you after a long time. And yeah,
Yeah,
shoot
same
me with your
same
question.
feeling from you. Same feeling. Yeah. So today, you know that you have seen my channel before, right? I have done one video previously related to a, the person who is a Shekaraya, who is currently working in Syngene International as a principal scientist. Apparently, he was in academia a couple years before. So now I would like to know about your journey and what fascinated you to do the PhD. And also, I would like to dig deep into how the PhD is going on and what is research as per you and that stuff. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, sure. That's nice.
Yeah. So I'm really excited once I came to know that you are doing PhD. So I wanted not just me, but also our audience to know about what motivated you to do PhD and how exactly you figure out that, okay, I will do PhD. Tell me about your journey.
Um, Yeah, so as you know already, like I was doing my integrated masters in biotechnology. And earlier I was not really clear about this idea of doing PhD. It was not my thing. Um, but later on, you remember we used to prepare for CSIR.
Yeah.
Like all thanks to you, I must say, you have motivated me towards this CSIR, DBT exams, and I started preparing for them. But uh, like when I was all those big books, I was not really sure that I'll be doing my PhD. I was just preparing for those exams because that's the next thing after masters everyone are running towards. But uh, it all started with the internship that I did in Delhi. So I got this INSA summer internship, and I went there for 2 months.
Can you tell what is INSA?
That so
Sorry to
that's
interrupt. Can you
three
tell what is
academies.
INSA? Okay.
So the three academies in India come together to give a summer internship to all masters, bachelor students who are pursuing in life sciences background. So they provide you with a 10,000 per month internship, and they send you to the um, uh, functional labs that are actually working on different areas. So that's pretty much it. And we have applied it together, if you remember.
Yes,
And
yes, I do.
I was not, I was not really sure about this, but yeah, it's all thanks to you. And yeah, I went there, and it started from there actually. When where I started, like where my research started with just cloning and protein expression, and my dissertation went with the protein expression. And then I learned how this process is. Like you have some unanswered questions and you figure out. So it's all uncertain. I understand that. I knew this when before getting into PhD. It's all uncertain, but that excited me. So I'm here.
Good to know about your little journey. And as you mentioned that you have done integrated masters. So my question is like, as far as I understand, when it is like integrated masters or individually doing bachelor's and masters, it's all together a lot of subjects, right? Like where you read at least 20 to 24 subjects in one particular stream, that is biotechnology. So, do you have any favorite subjects in that? Do you have any subjects where you paid a lot of attention to, and also do you have any subjects which you have paid very least attention to?
Yeah, that's a good question. And it's completely personal interest. It all depends on how you perceive the subject. And to me personally, I like cell biology, the signaling mechanisms. And I'm so grateful that I got my PhD project, which is very close to this signaling part. And yeah, I was more inclined to the cell biology and how the signalings crosstalk. I was always interested in this, and I don't really like bioinformatics. I'm dealing with it, but I don't enjoy that process very much. But it is really good once you master the techniques, the codings and all, and then you can play with it. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
still in the process of it.
Got it, got it. So you say that cell biology is your favorite. That's good to know. That's really a fascinating subject. So now I wanted to know how your research and daily life goes hand by hand. So with that, I would like to ask you about how important to be passionate while doing PhD. Is that really a thing or it's just a casual word?
Of course, you should be passionate. It's you imagine like 5 year long journey without passion and you don't like it. It's not just passionate about a PhD. You should love your topic you're working on, the techniques you're actually working on. If that is not happening, the earlier you identify that and just get out of it, the faster it is, the better it would be. Because if you're not liking the subject, it would be a hell you would put yourself into. So you should be passionate about your project, and that's when I'm not saying it like you would give like 100% of your energy into your PhD project. No, I can't do that. But in the whole picture, you should be you should know what your project is completely about, because nobody else, not even your PI, would know that detailed about your own project. You should be that should be your love. uh, like you know what I can say, you should be passionate about. I don't really have better words now. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually need to put our soul when we take that project, and we should make sure that that soul is well maintained till we get our degrees. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
how I feel. No,
Yeah.
the root for this question is what I have seen and also observed in current years. Most of the students do join PhDs in India specifically because they get to have a fellowship for 5 years so that they can get money. And also, some people, I'm not telling like a major percentage, but some percentage of the people do prepare for some other competitive examinations telling that they will do the PhD so that they don't need to worry about accommodation, food, and stuff, and also they get this stipend. So, what is your take on that?
I
Did you come across any of such people in your university or in your friend
if you
circle?
get into a company, no, not really. I haven't seen such cases, but I don't think that's a good idea. Eventually, you would be at loss because um, if you get into a company where you will be doing a scheduled task or a scheduled experiments which are well standardized and you just need to execute them step by step, and that if that is okay for you, doing like whatever the technical skills you have, you can do that. And you would over time, like a 5 years what you would take in PhD, you would be earning much greater, like if you are doing a PhD you would get like 50,000 with including the HRA by 5 years. But when you have 5 years research experience at a company, you would earn much better than that. So I don't really think that there is a point in just doing it for the sake of it. No, that won't work.
Okay, thank you for giving me the clarity on that. And so, next question is kind of funny, especially for a PhD student. What is your take on mental health as a PhD student?
You would you would definitely end up taking a therapy classes. Hopefully, no, you should not. But that's sad actually, because um, as a fifth year student, you um, like there will be days where you will be working because y- you don't really know the exact path how your project is going to progress, and you don't really know what step would come next. Like you would plan it like really well and you have like really good guidance, but ultimately your results would take you further. If that doesn't work, you should go how your project takes you, like. And sometimes you will be stuck for months together, and sometimes whatever the work you have done for 6 7 months altogether goes in waste, and you should still handle it, and there will be no validation for whatever the hard work you do, and you should uh, keep pushing yourself, and it's okay to take rest and not be harsh on yourself. And yeah, so I would say you're not you're not your experiment result, or you're not your paper, you're something else. That's an open question. What you are is a different thing, but you're not this just the experimental result or a paper that you would publish. That's not it. So that would decide your mental health. And I think I'm not really a good person to ask about this. So yeah, mental health, I can't guarantee that when you are getting into PhD.
That's a well way to answer that. So, what about the motivation? Because, not every day is motivated. You don't feel motivated every day to get up and to go to lab and to do your experiments bang on. Even if there is a failure in experiment, you have to go. And especially, I know that some of your initial years were during the lockdown, where you know that everything is shut and you couldn't able to do any experiments. And then there will be another question in your mind, oh, that means that do I do PhD for 7 years or 9 years? God knows. So what keeps you motivated in your PhD journey?
So the only source of motivation that worked for me is my previous result. So if one experiment works, and that's the motivation that I have for to do the next one, and that's it. No other motivation would work. Only that. For me, only that worked, and nothing else.
What about self motivation? Because even if the experiment works and even if you get a result, you know the saddest part in the academia is even how well you do, unlike our plus one, plus two, and in bachelor's and master's, no one will give us medals. No one will clap for us. Even if we show the very good result to the PI, all he will say is, okay, what next? Right? So, how you will keep yourself motivated? Like, for me, I feel self motivation is the key. I like to celebrate even the small wins. If I get a very good data which is publishable, then I make sure that I'll cook a very nice meal and I'll make sure that I feel that moment. So, what is that for you?
Yeah, that's sad actually. Because whatever the small win, as you mentioned, is to be celebrated. That's what you have your friends for. Like you should at least cheer up your friends who got their blot right today, and at least that's how we can go together in this journey. And apart from all this, even if there there might be some wins, even if everyone are cheering up for you, you won't be happy at all. But here in PhD, if the project really is that important for you and you haven't seen a result for 6 months, like you have really worked for a experiment for 6 months, you have generated a line or something, and then you see a result, that uh, I think that's real happiness. Like I don't want anybody to celebrate that for me. I know I like that itself is enough for me to give that happiness. Like yeah, it would be great if anybody notices, like validates it. It would be great actually, but unfortunately, it's not the case all the time. But hopefully, I have good friends and we celebrate a lot. And yeah, um, first thing we should celebrate small wins personally, and you should cheer up for your friends. And if that is not happening, at least you should do it for yourself.
Okay. So you mentioned quite about your friends and your circle. So tell me about what's your take on social life and social circle when we do PhD?
Um, you will be your circle will be more about your lab mates, and I don't think you will spend most of your time with them. If you consider my case, I don't really have friends outside the. Yeah, I have couple of them, but yeah. So mostly we spend our time with our lab mates, and thankfully I have really good friends now, and we eat together, hang out together, uh, joke around, and that's I really enjoy a lot spending time with them. Yeah.
Good. So what's your take on burnout, especially as a fifth year PhD student?
Burnout. So burnout is something that happens when you do something you don't like. When you are doing something just for the sake of it, but nothing comes, like you don't feel happy about it. So um even if you are and a second case is you're doing the same thing again and again, and you don't end up with the result what you actually want. Then this again, you this might happen. And I would just quietly go back home and sleep, and I would be hopefully fine after the night. Or I might take some time for myself and then slowly get back to work. what else we can do? We
Yeah,
need to finish this.
my take on burnout is it's not always necessary that you feel burnout only when you do something which you don't like, or something you do continuously or repetitively when it comes to the experiments. For me, burnout is even when you do so passionately, you are putting your 120% best when you are doing your experiments, right? So when it is happening and you're doing it every day, each day, every day, including your Saturdays and Sundays, so mentally you might not, but physically your body needs rest.
Mhm.
Because especially as a PhD student, when you are in this journey, there are many days, like even in your dreams your PI will come, no matter what. Even in your dreams your PI will come. He will ask about the data, he will ask about the presentation, he will ask about the manuscript, right? So once you know that you are reaching the lowest or your energy levels are dropping, it would be very important to take a break at least for 3 to 7 days and go home, relax, and just stay away from all the media and especially the work what you are doing. And if you come out, I feel then even the speed, the amount of speed we do our works will also get intensified. They also get logistically, they'll be much more productive compared to doing the works when we are burnout. That is my take on that. And the other thing I wanted to know is how different is your PhD journey, or how different are you in as a person when you compare it with your early days of or early years of PhD to fourth and fifth year? Which phase did you enjoy more?
Of course, I was Uh, yeah, it was quite light in the earlier years, but I never realized that it was light. It was as we grow up, like the things get tough, and it's not just with PhD. It's life works in that way. So yeah, I would take the day as it is, and I it is getting quite heavy, I must say, but I'm trying to just get through this. That's it.
Yeah, because even if I go back and remember my PhD days for the first and second year, it is mostly related to literature review. You read a lot about the literature, what happened and what is going on, and how you plan the experiments. And also with our peers and seniors, we try to learn and get habituated to the culture and to the lab environment. And it's like we're kind of learning how to crawl in the first 2 years, and then all of a sudden it's like your responsibility, your individuality on how to maintain it and do it consistently, right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
coming to the different kind of characters what we play in our first and second year, along with the fourth and fifth year, the very important thing which comes to my mind is mentorship. I feel mentorship is something which is very, very important in our PhD journey. So, as a fifth year PhD student doing in BITS Hyderabad, can you tell me about how important is the mentor, and how do you think that your mentor changed or shaped you when you compare yourself past 4 years?
Um, that's a important question. Like it's important to know your professor before joining the PhD because it's like 5 year long journey, and it's the kind of person he or she is would definitely affect your career. So yeah, it would be very it would help a lot when the PI is patient, and uh, they should be like really, he should have really good collaborations which would help you after which would help after your PhD.
Yeah, and also
And
while doing PhD to go to China and Germany.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Yeah, you please continue.
Yeah, and uh, like the one important thing I feel is he should be friendly so that you talk your brain out. Like you should not be scared to put your thoughts out. So you should have that um or how do I say?
Freeness
Uh,
and openness. You should be open enough with him without any
you should
life
have a
borders. Yeah.
the, no, the environment should be like that for you to open up. Like some people are not really comfortable with that, so being friendly with the students would help a lot. And yeah.
Okay. So, what was
And
your lab culture in your PhD journey?
lab
How does your lab
culture.
look like? How many people are usually there? And what about like how often do you get time to interact with your PI? Like, do you meet him every day or a week? Or in case if you have meetings, like, does he conduct meetings every day or just once in a week or once in a month? Tell me.
That's a good question. So we are such a big lab actually of 15 PhD students and uh, one postdoc. Um, we are and our meetings with PI are scheduled like one-on-one meetings will be scheduled every week, once in every week, and we have group meetings twice a week. So we get to meet our professor 3 times a week, and that's it.
Okay. So I also would like to know about the mentorship. When it comes to the mentorship, it always have two ways. One is someone who is above us, like our PI, who guides us during our journey. And the other way, how I see mentorship is the way how we guide our juniors, you know, because when we are in first and second year, we might have people who guides us on how to adjust and how to adapt in that environment. So can you tell me any of the lab members who helped you in your first and second years to adjust to the environment? And also, what did you learn from them?
So unfortunately, we are the first batch of our lab. So we're like 8 members. We just had us eight. That's it. So we don't have any seniors. Like we learned everything all by ourselves. There was one postdoc, Rosalba Cruz Miron. She's from Mexico. She was such a sweet person. She's really good friend of mine, and she helped us a lot in establishing lab. So I learned my basics of cell culture from her, and the rest of it, like it's all we have standardized every single thing about our lab, right from ordering instruments, chemicals. So we figured it out right from the beginning.
Okay.
So it's like that's why our friends are like we are really close to each other. So we have been there since beginning. So
Okay.
we don't have seniors. Yeah.
You have your buddies. Okay. Then my next question
Yeah.
would be you just mentioned that there were 15 people in your lab currently, and you eight of us joined all together to pursue the PhD. So that means how, as a mentor, how good are you in training your juniors? Do you have any juniors right now with you?
I had juniors like whom I have trained once in a while, like 2, 3 months. A person like I have trained like 2, 3 members now for now, and currently I don't have anyone as of now because I'm quite my plate is quite full, so
Okay.
uh, I'm happy about it.
Okay. So this comes to my next question is what lab elements matters most? This comes with respect to the infrastructure. So when you choose a lab to do the PhD, so it's not just the PI or it's not just the money or the grant what he has or it's just not the fellowship, right? So apart from these three, there are also core elements where we need to focus on. So our audience would like to take your note and your perspective about that.
Uh, the reagents, the kind of reagents you have in the lab and the standard of those reagents, that should be good. That's when your experiments work. If you compromise on the quality, then uh, things won't work out fine. And instruments, so mostly you get to share most of the instruments like microscope and fax or ID5 spectrophotometer. Like you get to share them with your department people, and if you have, luckily we have all of them in our lab, so we don't have to share them. So in that way, I'm lucky that our lab has all those instruments, and yeah, so these two are important, and um, yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
So again, I know maybe your lab have everything, but also like when it comes to a confocal microscopy, not every PI can afford it. So in
True,
that
true,
in
yeah.
that kind of situations, we would like to use the sources, shared
Yeah.
resources. So if you would like to use the shared resources and also if you would like to use any other instrument with the other PI in the same department. So I feel collaborations are very important. So did you get to work in such scenarios where your PI would collaborate with someone and you might have take up a chunk of their project or you might take someone's help to do your experiment? So first, do you have any experiences with that? And if
So
yes, how
I
did it go?
personally I personally don't have such experience as of now, but I see projects work like that. Like to even our lab has our lab works on toxoplasmosis, and there is another lab that works on blood-brain barrier. And toxoplasma has this special capability to enter the brain and all. So we collaborate with our other lab from Professor Kavi Devraj, and sorry, my professor is Professor Nishit Gupta, and we collaborate with each other, and then that's how the projects grow. And yeah, we do.
If you imagine yourself what success means, how would you imagine?
I like I would want to end up as a scientist, establishing a lab, um, working on a project that is close to my heart, and have enough money in hand. Yeah, that that should be it. I like let's just pass this. I'm not really comfortable answering this.
So, what is your take on publishing papers and attending conferences?
Yeah, publishing paper is really important because That's
You
how
need
you
a degree.
communicate whatever you have been doing all these
No, you need
years,
a
and that,
degree, and that is one of the rule to get a degree.
of course, yeah, publishing. Um, uh, Apart from all these technicalities, you are just like you find people to tell especially at conferences, you find people who would understand what you are actually doing it. So that's exciting because you can't explain it to everyone who, like, because they can't really understand what it is. And uh, conferences give you that platform to talk to people and know that you're not alone in this. There are people who are in similar boats, but not exactly the same one. But yeah, you feel you belong to a community when you go to a conference. That's a, uh very good experience that you would gain. And yeah, publishing a paper, that's how your work, your hard work gets validated. So that's important. And I really wish I have one by next year.
No worries, in 2026, you definitely get one. Not an issue.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So, I have last couple questions which are specifically related to the audience. So, because our audience are majorly the masters and upcoming PhD students, so what what advice would you like to give it to our audience who will start their PhD journey?
So, no, okay, before choosing a PhD project or getting into a lab, know your professor, know the kind of work that is happening in that lab. That's very important. You just can't get into a random project. And even if you explore the projects that are available out there, and though you're interested in the projects that are going on, it is important to make sure the topic you are taking up is interesting to you. So that is also very important. And once you start your project, yeah, I remember you asking me about the mistakes that you do in the early years of PhD and all. So when you start your project, the mistake most people do is do a quality control to the strains that were given to you. So when you start working on a particular strain, no matter what it is, a bacteria or a parasite or whatever you're working on, cell line you're working on, it is very important to do a quality control. So you need to do all kind of quality control checks that make sure you are dealing with the right strain. So if you though it is assured that you are given a right strain, it is important to do it yourself, because you would work on it for 6 months or 8 months and then end up knowing you were dealing with the wrong strain. That is very traumatizing, I must say. I've been through it. I don't want anybody to go through this. So do your quality checks before you deal with any strains that you are taking up for your projects. Yeah, and make sure you keep your notes properly, so that whatever the experiment you have done makes sense even after 5 years. If not, you'll have to repeat it again. That's the punishment you are going to take.
Thank you for answering
Yeah.
that. So, I would like to do a short rapid fire with you as we almost reach to the end of the session. So, my first
Yeah.
question would be, after a stressful day at work or in the lab, how you relax yourself? Will you binge watch, or would you like to eat? Would you like to eat and rest? Binge watch or food? Which would you pick?
Yeah, both. I would eat and watch a movie. Netflix. I love. I'm a big foodie and I love watching movies. So yeah, I would do both.
Okay. So, if any student who would like to do a PhD, if they ask you a suggestion, would you suggest them to do a PhD, or you would say no?
It depends. I'm not really sure. Like it's about the personal interest. It, PhD is not uh, uh, what I should say. PhD is not the only thing that you can grow in this license career. There are many out there. PhD is one kind of it, and it takes a completely different path, and it's long, and it's you're talented, skillful, but not really patient enough to wait this long to invest on a single project for giving this such a long period of your prime time, uh, then that's not right for you. So that's a personal choice you should take, and you should take the call that is it worth it to spend. First thing, money. If your prime priority is money, don't take PhD. That's not it. If you are curious, then yes, you can get into this. Yeah.
Okay. So, what time do you prefer most to do your experiments? Like, are you a night owl or a morning person when it comes to experiments?
Um, I'm like evening person. I take like entire morning to plan, and I start my experiment somewhere in the afternoon, and it would go until 7 8, and then I come back home.
Thank you, Ramya. We already reached the end of the session. I didn't even realize how long we have been recorded this one. So, is there any one advice would you like to give it to our audience who are currently watching and wanted to pursue PhD in their future?
Um, yeah, it would be something like you you should understand what is your interest, and if you're really curious enough about a particular project or something. So PhD is a long journey, and make sure uh, you enjoy the process. So before getting in, you can just try doing short term projects and get the feel out of it, how it actually works, doing the experiment, troubleshooting, and stuff like that. And before getting into a PhD, know your PI, know your project, know your workplace and the facilities there, and propose a project that is doable. That is important. And yeah, uh, what the mistake I did was I was quite ambitious, and you would think that you can achieve everything, and the 5 years is really long. No, it's not. So take reasonable uh, like take calculated risks, and the propose what you can achieve in this 5 years of time. And yeah, so that would be the advice I would give. And that's I really enjoyed the entire uh, conversation, the interview. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's really good to talk to you.
Thank you for joining, first of all. And we had a pleasure, especially I had a pleasure interviewing and getting to know more about you. Thank you so much, Ramya.
Thank you.